Welcome to the bold analysis. Sometimes at home, when you want to when you want to correct someone, you normally change the voice, or rather, you change your tone. In this podcast, you'll excuse me, it's a bit unfamiliar with me, but I'll have to change the tone because of what I'm going to say next. Raila Odinga, the son of Jaramogi, once said that it is in this country that dead voters wake up to vote, and after voting, they resurrect, vote, then go back to the grave. It is also this country where dead Kenyans wake up, resurrect, collect salaries, and go back to the grave without even working. Now, this is alarming, and I really do think that it is about time that we have a legislation, a legal framework that can dictate, or rather that can spearhead a lifestyle audit of state or public servants. We need to lifestyle audit, and it should be periodic lifestyle audit. Maybe if it is once in a year, or there is a way it needs to be done. And even if we are gonna come up with an institution that's going to do it, we must look at it keenly. This information is very worrying, and the Auditor General has raised some very shocking information. What you're seeing on the screen. Budget Controller flags 5.7 billion salaries paid outside the payroll. You may want to know how. What that report is showing, before I tell you how, is that we paid salaries to people that probably did not work, or even allowances. Recurrent expenditures is also including those per diems and allowances to places that people didn't even go. And how does it happen? I want us to look at it. In the financial year 1996-1997 fiscal year, the government devised what is called Integrated Personnel Payroll Database, which is designed, it is the digital database which is designed to help ministries, departments, and agencies. It is required that they pay salaries through it, the payroll system. That is what is called the payroll system. This system was introduced to address the challenges of a manual payroll administration, which had been described as cumbersome. It was causing salary delays because it literally, you need to, physically sign the documents. And imagine in this country we have more than 700 civil servants. So if the manual one, it was time consuming. Inaccuracy in determining staffing levels and poor accountability of funds. Now, this is something that was designed. But over time, the different documents have actually shown that governments all over, or rather other administrations, have been opting to use the manual payroll, because it is through the manual payroll that you can play monkey schemes, you can play monkey games. The controller budget has flagged expenditure of 5.6 billion on salary payments outside the payroll, outside the approved payroll systems in the first 9 months of Kenya Kwanza. Guys, that is from last year up to March. I was just getting this, and it pisses off. We are struggling with recurrent expenditure, and sometimes when William Ruto speaks, you could feel the pinch that we are borrowing to pay salaries. And the same, we seem to be paying salaries to people who are not even part of the workforce. This is what it's saying. A review of recurrent expenditure shows that 399 billion was spent on compensation to employees, representing 40% of the gross recurrent expenditure by MDAs. MDAs is ministry, departments, and agencies. Further analysis revealed 363 billion was processed through the integrated personnel and payroll database that was our shared, and other approved payroll management systems. 5.6 billion was paid outside the prescribed payroll management system. The payment of salaries by the state agency outside payroll system coincided with liquidity measures in government, which saw delays in paying salaries to some civil servants in the March this year. You know, we delayed paying salaries. Even to date, KBC, the journalists at KBC are still struggling. They're yet to be paid. And what we were told as a country was we are paying debts. So quite a number of our debts has matured. And so we've taken most of what we have to pay the debts, and that's why we've not yet paid salaries. What exactly is going on here? Things are simply not adding up. Jimmy Wanjigi is talking the other side saying, we have overpaid our debts and we seem to be paying non-existing debts. Where are we heading as a country? Kindly subscribe to our channel. I also want to reach out to you on behalf of Bold Charity Network. Under the network, we are planning to do a children's home visit to support a children's home in Dagoretti with some food stuff. So we are doing a 50 shillings challenge. This time round, not to support anyone in the hospital, but we just want to go and support the children in that orphanage. Of course, there is a big problem in terms of food, even with the hardship, and just doing as little as 50 shillings donation to go towards that. So kindly support. This is very close to my heart because that orphanage is hosting a boy that I rescued some 4 years ago when I was working in media, Baby Anthony. So I'm also going to visit up that place, and it's very close to my heart. So kindly, let's support with as little as 50 shillings. The number is there, 0710 62 78 89. I may not respond to all the messages, but of course our admin Kawira will be reaching out on after we receive. So kindly, though you will expect another message from another person, to not be from me, from our admin. We say that we have to grow with others. You cannot sit here and do everything. Now, I don't want us to lose the plot. Come back to the analysis. We didn't pay people, and one of the reasons why we didn't pay people is we said our money we used to pay the debt. But now with this revelation, we could have paid debts that are even none. We could have even we paid salaries to people that are not there. The findings of a review of salary expenditures by ministries, departments, and agencies in 9 months to March 2023 raise questions about the commitment by the government to instill transparency in its wage bill expenditures. Challenges associated with the manual payroll administration has in the past seen billions of shillings of taxpayers' funds spent on ghost workers annually. Do you remember the audit that was done in Kisii? What? It really revealed some very shocking figures there. The menace of ghost workers is real. And I've normally said that these ghost workers, they're normally brought in by people in government. So if we must do lifestyle audit, we are seeing people rushing to buy homes in the leafy suburbs of Nairobi, in the high-end areas. People who, when they were mentioning their value at Parliament, it was a total different story. So something is simply not working here. We cannot pay 7.5 billion to ghost workers when we are taxing everyone and everything and anything taxable because we want to fix our country. And we've always said our problem is governance. It is the political cronies that are sneaking this to the payroll. Government, I think William Ruto must take a personal responsibility of this. And, talk to those accountants, head of procurement and accountants. Really, no one should be paid using the manual. The documents are very shocking about how the people are being paid using the manual payroll. The manual payroll, you can rub and add and print another one and add people who aren't even there. And money are paid. So, simply, I think something in the system is not right. Number two, the digitization of government services and operations is real. And that is the loophole. I'm one person who has been asking, and someone can help me understand that. Why is it normally a coincidence that government has many printers, but this printer, print passport, it's the one that normally has problems? The one for printing passports, it's normally just one. I've always thought about it. Is it really that you're printing a Konga Rashida, or people just want to do things manually? Of course, you cannot print many, but what exactly happens? How many machines, how many softwares are not working? Because we need to get to understand something here. Now, unconstitutional officers could be gobbling funds, taxpayers' money. We may have to, the Auditor General might have to give us who is funding the office of the spouse to the Prime Cabinet Secretary, of the second lady, who is funding the office of first daughter or the first son. I don't know. We just have a lot of the things happening in darkness. And who is even paying these state house intercessors? Probably, even immediately people are appointed and they rush to court, like CAS, they are working. Court maybe had some injunction, but these fellows are working and they're getting money. Probably they're the fellows that are being paid by the manual payroll. Something is not amiss. And if these documents, we cannot digitize our documents, we still have to go manual, then that manual aspect is the biggest undoing to economic recovery of UDA administration. This one, they must get right. I want to finish by talking about something happening in my county. I am seeing a chair has been brought in the Senate that it was bought at 1.1 million, and it is what has been used against Oduor. I don't want to defend Oduor, but the truth of the matter, and even the people, residents of Siaya know very well, that these things happen. These things happen. Instead of, we should also interrogate what Oduor is saying. I saw Senate members being whipped to make us believe that the issue is about that chair. Yes, Oduor might have bought a chair at 1.1 million, which there is accounting officers that approved it. But how about others? This is a vice that is going on. Corruption is real in the counties. We have a situation where people in this country are putting their girlfriends and panguacandos and their boyfriends in payrolls. It is a reality. So I think it has been detected. One of the first things that William Ruto must realize is that ghost workers are choking the taxpayers. They're the ones that are ballooning those figures amongst the other governance lapses. I think on this one, we should at least get it right. This needs an administrative adjustments. But I know there have been calls for a lifestyle audit, and different quarters have been blocking it. Ruto needs lifestyle audit of all those, even members of executive, the judiciary, to parliament. Everywhere seems things are rotten. We must get it right. Thank you.